Coming up on Confidential, the heavy price of being a WWE superstar.
I defy anyone to tell me how someone learns to fall on concrete.
If it looks like it hurt, then I guarantee it did.
And just who is Victoria?
Rikishi came up to me and said, "Don't you want to wrestle?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to wrestling school." He goes, "I don't think the office knows this."
Hi everyone, I'm Gene Okerlund, and this is WWE Confidential. In recent weeks, Victoria has been making quite an impact in the WWE, usually at the expense of women's champion Trish Stratus. And the way things have unfolded on Raw, you'd think Victoria came out of nowhere, but nothing could be further from the truth. Victoria has been lurking in the proverbial shadows for over 2 years. Tonight, Confidential goes back in time to the last 2 years of Diva swimsuit shoots. Victoria was there, but you never got to see her. Tonight, we're going to get some insight into the woman behind all of that anger. But first up, wrestling is fake. Detractors of pro wrestling love to throw that in the face of WWE superstars and fans. Personally, I'd love to see a baseball player get thrown from a 10-foot-high ladder, crash through a table, and then finish the game. For those of you who watched the tables, ladders, and chairs match from this past Monday night, I think you know what I'm talking about. All the training in the world can't make up for a little bad luck, a simple mistake, or an off night from your opponent. One wrong move, one slip of the foot, and someone's career could end in an instant. In a TLC match, those risks are quite obvious. The locker room looked like a MASH unit on Monday night, but the risks are there in every match, every night. Unlike the major sports, there are no injury timeouts in the WWE. Playing hurt has become part of being a professional. The obvious question, why the heck do they do it? Before we answer that, a reminder, please don't try this at home.
How's he even able to stand? It's what I want to know. He don't have a damn clue where he is. Showed us how tough he is. He's still competing here. Learn to fall, my big Oklahoma butt. How do you learn to fall off a 20-foot ladder? He landed hard. How much can these human beings take? This match should be stopped.
They're not going to stop this type of matchup for injuries.
Mercifully, my God, it's finally over. He gave it all he had.
I find it amazing that sometimes fans and cynics, especially in the media, will say, well, you know, these guys know how to fall. But I defy anyone to tell me how someone learns to fall on concrete.
We're hitting a mat that everybody thinks is like a trampoline. No, there's plywood and like 2x4s and 2x12s underneath this thing.
Because it's predetermined, people assume that it's fake. But if it looks like it hurt, then I guarantee it did.
You can't jump off a cage to a table and not expect it to hurt.
Every week these guys take a tremendous abuse on their body, and they just keep great on going.
I don't think there's anything in the world quite like the WWE as far as the physical toll it takes on an athlete.
I did nothing ridiculous in it. I mean, I hit a guy from behind, just planted my leg, and it just, engine blew.
Lots of people have experienced a hamstring strain or quadricep pull or something like that, but to completely rip the whole muscle itself, the tendon itself, the pain, I can't imagine what that felt like. But, you know, Triple H felt that he needed to finish the match.
People ask me, why did I continue? Why didn't I just lay down and say that was it? Never even entered my mind. I never thought about it.
To gut it out and finish it is just, courageous on his part, but I honestly think any guy would have done the same thing if it was in that situation.
Our job is to go out there and have a match, and by not finishing the match, we don't finish our job. That's the way a lot of the guys look at it.
I thought Shane might have been knocked out. I thought he might have broke his neck. I was really concerned.
Do you go ahead or do you give up? Do you go for it or you give up? And you're always asking yourself that question. And the answer was, let's keep going.
It just you know, feel that they owe it to the fans to give their all, you know, each night. Bob Holly broke his arm in the ring, you know, continued to try to go through it.
Me being the type of guy that I am, I decided to keep going because it hurt so bad. I thought to myself, well, the pain can't get no worse than it already is.
All it takes is one little movement, land, just like when I did my shoulder. All it did was land on my shoulder and whoosh, it went, the whole thing went. Landed on my elbow and the bone just went right through everything. It tore my rotator cuff tendon in half, tore all three. You have 4 heads to your shoulder, it tore 3 from the front to the rear. I thought I just separated it, is actually what I thought I did, but we had to go through and finish the match because it was leading to a pay-per-view, which was 4 days later. They told me I had to have surgery, but I had to go to the pay-per-view. You know, that was just an obligation I had to do.
I hurt my, dislocated my right shoulder. And as we both landed, his weight and my weight both landed on my arm, which is, I felt like some type of burning feeling in my right shoulder, and I knew something was wrong then.
The remarkable thing is that Rikishi continued to wrestle, I think, on 2 occasions with his shoulder actually dislocated and finished the match, basically. Continued to wrestle with his arm actually out of place. And that's almost impossible, I would say.
On many occasions, our guys will be diagnosed with an injury that put the normal guy on the shelf, but they will work through it.
When I tore my PCL, it was in a match against X-Pac, and I'm sure it was just wear and tear, and then finally that's probably just what did it. Just the constant landing right on your knee is what the doctor told me is what did it. You don't want something like that to happen, and when it does happen, it is unfortunate, but now it's kind of like a neat little game you have to play, because now you're hurt, and now you got to figure out a way to finish the match and work around your injury. So, I mean, I think it's kind of fun.
They love what they do, and for many of them, and we're blessed with that this is what they wanted to do all their life, and they're willing to pay one hell of a price to continue to perform.
I think I broke my tailbone. I said, but let's keep going.
It's a credit to what a stud Kurt is. You know, he's just, he's an amazing athlete, amazing, and drive and heart is what keeping that going now, and adrenaline.
Kurt Angle is a machine. He won't stop. These guys just, they keep going night after night.
You can't discount the commitment nor the respect that should be given to these athletes that have competed with pain and injury and sacrifice, all for the good of the product.
Guys have got concussions in the ring, you know, and been able to finish matches and, you know, not really remember what happened.
You could see it when Kurt was coming out. He was like glass-eyed, he was looking around. There's a guy unconscious in the ring, just going. And he's new, too. He's not even like a veteran or anything. He's a brand new guy. Well, my hat's off to him for that.
I ruptured a disc which fragmented into my spinal column, which caused severe pain in my neck. So I knew immediately something was very drastically wrong.
Wolverine is back, and is back to being one of the best in the world. He probably got there faster than most people that I know. He's one of a kind.
On the set of Dark Angel filming for the season finale.
After this did happen, and she was dropping her head, you know, her neck was broken, you know, she has a ruptured disc, you know, she went ahead and did 5 more days of filming and shooting, and finished it by doing stand-ins.
The hardest thing for her to do is to face her own inactivity. She's young and vibrant, and had just burst on the scene, is really starting to establish herself. And I think that probably just the mental aspect right now of having to sit and wait and be patient whether you want to or not is her biggest challenge.
Not wrestling due to my injury, it's been, it sucks, it really sucks. They always say, you know, like you don't know what you have until it's gone, and I always knew how much I loved doing what I do, but it's definitely hard to sit and watch my friends on TV and not be there.
If I'm out, 4 or 5 months, I'm Jones and I got to come back. So I try to heal up as fast as I can.
There's guys working right now that need to have surgeries on their back, need to have surgeries on their neck or their knees, but they still go in there night after night and do what they do just because they don't want to take that time off.
I'll tell you one thing. Professional wrestlers as a group are the toughest guys you'll ever treat as athletes.
Without knocking any of the other guys, I don't know that there's a group of athletes that I've ever seen in any endeavor as physically and as mentally tough as the wrestlers are.
I've worked in a variety of different sports, and I'll put them up against any professional athlete. I think they're just so used to the pain that they're able to work through it. And there's every guy walks around with some sort of ache.
The Undertaker has worked through a variety of injuries. The uniqueness of The Undertaker is that you see him in Hell in a Cell matches and you see him on the top rope. He puts his 300-pound body on that 7-foot frame into some very precarious positions that anatomically it's not meant to be. It's just the passion. It's the best way to put it. He's got passion.
I can feel bad, I can hurt, I can do whatever, but when I crack those curtains, that's what drives you. That's the people drive you day in and day out. Because I could try to explain it to you or try to describe it to you, but there's nothing better than walking out and seeing 20,000 people blow out of their seats.
You try to tell a guy to take it easy one night, and he gets out there and the adrenaline starts flowing, the crowds start cheering for him, and next thing you know, they're doing all the things you try to avoid him, tell him not to do.
It's an unbelievable moment to have that many people say, thank you very much for that. That's what you do it for.
Perform in the ring before big crowds at major events. And when you get little boys and little girls that have dreamed of doing that all their life, and they finally get to realize their dream, they're not going to let some pain get in their way. They've overcome every other obstacle to get there. So pain becomes a non-entity.
Up next, which Tough Enough audition tapes will make the confidential cut?
This is the Lizard. What he does is he creeps around at night.
Every journey starts with a single step. Thanks to the hit MTV series Tough Enough, the road to becoming a WWE superstar now has a fast lane. Maven, Nydia, Jackie Gaeta, and Linda Miles all have taken advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime by being crowned Tough Enough champions and winning a WWE developmental contract. With Tough Enough 3 set to make its debut on Thursday, October the 17th, we thought we'd go back and take a look at the first step to becoming a Tough Enough champion, the audition tapes.
Howdy, Cowboys. My name's Bobby Joe, and I'm 23.
How you doing? My name's Jason Dayberry, 23 years old.
My name's Tara Sterno. I'm 18 years old.
My name is Michael Owen, a.k.a. Flex. I'm 6'1", 245 pounds. I'm 25 years old. My name is Nathan Hoffman. I am 6'2", 215 pounds of manual steel.
My name is Pete Havlicek, 27 years old.
Hi, my name is Frank Resnick, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
This is the Lizard. What he does is he creeps around at night.
My name and character's the horse because I'll stomp all over my competitors.
My name is a.k.a. Cobra. I would like to get involved in Tough Enough contest.
I'm the Black Widow, and anybody will do what I say or they will pay.
My name is Champagne, and his first name Sham, last name Payne.
I am the Media Mongol.
Boy gone bad, Jason Headings.
My name is James Mason, a.k.a. Fireball.
And I'm going to be Jeremy the Plumber D.
I am Craig, the painkiller Schumer.
I'm Robert Mitchell,
a.k.a. Mr. Independence.
I am Ice.
My wrestling character goes by the name of Golden, and she is the precious metal.
Hello, MTV. I am the Under Media.
When we return, just what is Victoria's secret?
My character on TV is very different than what I am in person. I'm very down to earth. In the ring, I switch. I'm a psycho in there.
And now, the WWE Rewind is brought to you by Snickers. Don't let hunger happen to you.
Certainly a bad break for Victoria, who's obviously got herself in great shape for this debut, and she's hurting here. I bet Trish showing some class and good sportsmanship. That was a cheap shot. Victoria cheated to beat Trish.
You've all heard the expression that art imitates life and vice versa. In this business, it happens more often than you'd think. This past Monday on Raw, Victoria went ballistic on Trish Stratus, then made some sort of a veiled accusation that left most people scratching their head. Frankly, I'm not sure what that was all about, but I do know this. Victoria was part of the WWE Diva swimsuit shoot 2 years ago in Jamaica. Her photos made the magazine, but she wasn't included in the home video, and she never appeared on Raw or SmackDown. Last year, Victoria was again a part of the Diva shoot in the Bahamas. This time, her photos did not make it in the magazine, and she was not included in the home video or the network special. Why? After more than 2 years, Victoria can finally be seen on Raw with what appears to be a rather sizable chip on her shoulder. Was it always there? Confidential producers went back, sifted through hours of tape in an effort to find out who is the woman behind all that anger.
My character on TV is very different than what I am in person.
This black-haired woman is absolutely possessed.
I am fun,
sick,
loving,
angry woman,
caring,
crazy,
sensitive.
This woman has got a screw loose.
A jokester.
This damn woman is crazier than a pet coon.
Energetic, I guess you can say. But when I'm out of the ring, I'm a completely different person.
We saw Victoria first out in a little organization in Southern California, UPW. We like Victoria from the get-go because of her attitude. She's very athletic, she's always in good shape, and she always has a good approach to the game. Her background was fitness world.
In 1995, I started doing a bodybuilding competition, and it was a middleweight. I was 119 pounds, just kind of to challenge myself. Ended up winning that show, and I saw Fitness America pageants on TV, and I was like, I can do that. I know I can do that. I have dance, I have gymnastics, and I'm a ham. I'm into fitness. I'm gonna do that. That's my next goal. So I started competing in that, started doing very well in that, and which was a good stepping stone for wrestling. You have to be very agile. You have to have the aerobics, flexibility, the strength. So it was perfect for wrestling. My 3 brothers were in wrestling. My oldest brother went to the Pan Am Olympics and won the gold. I think I saw the glory my brother received when he won the gold, and I think back in my mind, I want to be that. Ran into China at a health facility. I went up to her, I just asked her a little bit about it, and she was so kind to refer me to the company and told me the people to contact.
So then we signed her. We used her as a hoe.
It was fun being a hoe with the Godfather. He's so cool.
It's time, once again, for everybody to come aboard
And so she worked with the Godfather for a while. So I think she liked that, but she wanted more. That was not her comfort zone. She wanted to compete. She wanted the physicality. She wanted to get in the ring, learn to wrestle. Very athletic, spirited. So then we signed her to a developmental contract, and we had her in Cincinnati. She's worked in Louisville.
The first class basically got the crap beat out of me. This was a lot more difficult than what I thought, right? And they said, well, come back tomorrow. I don't think they thought I was going to be back, because as soon as I walked through the door Sunday, they're like, hey, what are you doing here? And I go, wasn't I invited back to take a class? And I was like, determined to learn how to wrestle.
Never complained, never missed a practice. She's had a lot of setbacks. We took her to a Diva shoot, and she didn't make the cut. The reason she didn't make the cut was not because she didn't look good in the swimsuit. It was because we couldn't put her in a magazine until people knew who she was on television. She got cut from the video, she got cut from the magazine, and all of her work there was basically for naught. So she got the message and she understood, and she knew that her time would come if she would just continue to work hard.
I'm eager to learn. I want to know everything about this business. I really do.
She's just unwilling to accept no for an answer, and I think she's going to be a real bright contribution to us. She's tough, boy. She's physical.
I think it shows in me that I love what I do. I hope I'll never get burnt out on it.
Make it. You got to be patient and you got to believe. And in this case, Victoria has been patient, and boy, she has believed, and I think it's about to pay off big dividends for her.
When we return, milk does a body good. Just ask Kurt Angle.
Within hours, it smelled like sour milk in the plane, and I was so embarrassed.
Welcome back to Confidential. Love him or hate him, you can't deny Kurt Angle has already achieved more in his lifetime than most people could dream of. There's the NCAA title, the Olympic gold medal. He's held just about every WWE title and is currently working on a tag team championship. You would think that the self-proclaimed American hero would have been recognized by now with pop culture's very symbol of all-American status, the milk mustache. After all, it was Kurt who celebrated his Intercontinental victory with the milk shower. But no, The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin have been immortalized in mustache, but no mustache for our Olympic hero. Kurt's response to this obvious oversight: you think you got milk? I'll give you milk. It's this week's Confidential Flashback.
My God! What is that? That's Kurt Angle, all right!
The milk truck incident, I'll never forget it, was in Sacramento, California. It was in August of 2001, and I just remember seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin's face when I came out. He didn't know whether to cry or laugh.
It's a damn milk truck! Kurt Angle's driving a milk truck right up to the ring!
When he came out and in front of the crowd and just the electricity that was out there, and he came out, it was just a cool sight to see. I kind of forgot that I was in the ring. I was just watching it as a fan. And, wow, this is really cool.
I would have to say that it was one of the biggest reactions I've ever seen the crowd get into. It was every bit as big as when Stone Cold Steve Austin ran that beer truck in and sprayed down Vince McMahon. It was that same reaction, but it was so much funnier because it was a milk truck. And obviously my character, I drink milk.
Angle throwing milk cartons at the Alliance!
Kurt was just, like I said, he was just beaming us with those milk cartons, just as hard as he could throw them.
I don't think they knew what to expect from there, but when I pulled that hose out and I started spraying down Stone Cold Steve Austin and Stephanie McMahon and everybody else, I got even a louder eruption from the crowd.
I don't know a lot about milk trucks, but maybe, I don't know if they actually come with a fire hose filled with milk.
Oh my God! It's milk! It's milk! Milkomania is running wild! It's Milkman Madness, my God! You got milk!
It was just funny to see everybody spilling, falling, getting back up, and falling again, and especially Stephanie.
The milk truck scene with Kurt Angle was probably one of the most fun things I've ever done.
The $1 Million Princess has become a Dairy Queen!
She was really reacting great. She'd fall down, get back up. I'd spray her in the face again. She'd fall down again.
Kurt coming out with the milk truck of all things and spraying us all down and seeing who got out of the way and got put back in the way, and you know, all of us scrambling around. It was great.
I was pretty much right in the front line. I was just to the left of Stephanie. A couple of the little pretty boys on their back trying to hide. They didn't want to get the milk in their hair.
I guess people said I was cowering in the corner, but I think I pulled someone in front of me and kind of used them as a shield to protect myself. Didn't work out too well, though.
I was zoning in on Steve, but when I saw Stephanie flying all over the place, I started spraying her even more.
I've been sprayed by a number of things in the ring. So the milk was probably lesser of a lot of evils, except it just smelled real bad.
We weren't using real milk. That would have been something else. We used food coloring, white water, and it worked out tremendously. Obviously, the milk I drank was real, but the hose, it was a water. It was a hookup to the back, and they had some kind of filler that brought the white powder in on it, and it looked like milk, and it worked out really good.
I was right next to Tommy Dreamer. And he really will eat anything. Well, there's cookies in the ring, and people were stepping on them, and you know the mat was dirty, and There was milk all over the place, and they were all soggy.
And I seen Tommy Dreamer and his nasty self pick up one of the cookies and eat it.
It was stuck to his shoe, and he proceeded to peel it off the sole of his shoe and eat it. And I found that kind of amusing, you know.
I don't know how bad the arena smelled. You know, there wasn't much milk, real milk, thrown around the arena, but I know how bad I smelled. I didn't have my wrestling boots on, so I had the shoes that I was wearing that day, and I had to fly home that night. And I had the same shoes on, and man, they stunk the whole plane up. Within hours, it smelled like sour milk in the plane, and I was so embarrassed. I didn't want anybody else to know. I kind of took my shoes off and put them underneath the seat in front of me. God bless the guy that was standing in front of me, or sitting in front of me, but I just kind of sat back and I just started laughing, thinking, okay, everybody thinks I smell like sour milk, or somebody does around here, but I didn't want anybody to know it was my shoes.
And now he's pulling out the heavy stuff. It's homogenized. Kurt Angle is the Olympic dairy man. Milkomania has run wild.
It was a special moment. I hope someday I can get that reaction again. Don't know if I will, but at least I had it once.
When we return, stand up and shout for Lilian Garcia.
I'm going to flip out the first time I hear it on the radio. I'm totally be running down the street screaming and jumping because it's been a dream of mine since I was 5 years old.
Welcome back to Confidential. This portion of the program is brought to you by the new Castrol GTX High Mileage and by Greyhound Friendly Fares to over 3,700 destinations. Call, walk up, or log on to greyhound.com for tickets. And by DreamWorks The Ring. Before you die, you see The Ring. Coming to theaters this Friday, October 18th.
When it comes to ring announcers, Lilian Garcia is certainly no Howard Finkel, and I, for one, say amen to that. When Lilian first graced the WWE ring, mic in hand, back in 1999, the fans, as you might expect, were less than enthusiastic. But a little adversity was nothing new for this Army brat who spent her early childhood in Madrid, Spain. To Lilian's credit, she continued on quite nicely. At that time, no one knew that Lilian could do a heck of a lot more with a microphone than the average ring announcer. On Valentine's Night 2000, Lilian sang the national anthem moments before Raw went on the air. The response was overwhelming, and a new tradition was born. Her performances before live WWE audiences throughout the world have led to a recording contract for Lilian. Could she be the next American Idol? Lilian's new single is certainly something to shout about.
Basically, what happened is that I was performing with the band, and the president of Universal saw me performing, and he came backstage and he handed me his business card and told me to set up an appointment with him, which is what I did. And in that meeting, we shook on a deal, and they contacted Meredith Brooks to write it and produce it. If you remember, she had the hit called Bitch. And she called me, and we hit it off immediately. And then from there, just the ball started rolling. I heard the song Shout, and I knew I had to do it. Yeah, you'd have something to really shout about. 'Cause you got something to shout about, baby. Yeah, something to shout about. I love the song Shout, just because it's very positive. Do it good and loud, yeah. We're always looking and wanting something that's, we don't have, or we think it's better. So it's one of those messages that if you really just looked at yourself and looked at the things that you have, you could find something to shout about. You told me then how to push on through. I got up again. Now I'm back for you. To me, there's nothing like performing on stage. I've been performing since I was 5. My father was taking guitar lessons, and poor thing, he never learned how to play the guitar because the instructor would come over, and as he was showing him how to play, my sister and I would start singing with him. And all of a sudden, the instructor was turning around, and he just kept playing songs, and one song after another, and we just kept singing and singing. So my dad would just watch this whole process, and like I said, he never learned how to play, but from that, he put us into competitions together, and we started just performing from there, and that's where everything took off.
And making his way to the ring from Miami, Florida, The Rock, Triple H Van Dam.
WWE has definitely helped open doors, definitely. I think the fact that I got to sing the national anthem before every venue, the fans got to know me as a singer. So it's not like ring announcer turned singer. It is, she's been singing from day one.
WWE's own Lilian Garcia.
Oh, can you see?
September 13th, I will never forget that. I was very thankful to Vince that he had me do that. It was also very emotional and very hard because I live in New York City. It was just so much to just even get through the song. Then when I did, of course, I broke down.
Oh my God Almighty! Lilian just got broken in half by these huge monsters!
I think that I want to stick to the performing side of it and the ring announcing side of it. And I don't mind doing things from time to time at all. And I also think that that's what keeps it special, because you never imagine a ring announcer to be thrown into something like that.
Lilian, would you like to try some of the rocks? Strudel?
Miss Kelly!
Excuse me, what did I tell you? I am the cat.
If you're gonna get thrown into anything, get thrown into chocolate pudding, because I left the plan, I was like, oh, this rocks. So it was fun.
I put everything I have into performing it. It's very fulfilling.
She's one of the most dedicated artists I've ever played with, I've ever seen. Very consistent.
Puts a lot of time, a lot of effort into her craft.
Amazing vocal range, clarity, you know, just she's very diverse.
Lilian's got a great voice. She projects it very well. It's very current. It sounds great, and it's really hip.
I'm gonna flip out the first time I hear it on the radio. I'll totally be running down the street screaming and jumping because it's been a dream of mine since I was 5 years old. It's coming true, and so many times I feel like pinching myself, and then I'm like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna pinch myself, because if it is a dream, I don't want to wake up.
Up next, the Scorpion King gives us the royal treatment on a backstage tour.
I'm going to take you over here. I'm going to let you see Cassandra's tent, who's my love interest in the movie, and we're also going to watch the Boom Jabroni.
Welcome back to Confidential. Subway presents WWE No Mercy, live next Sunday on pay-per-view from the Alltel Arena in Little Rock, Arkansas. Fresh-made sandwiches on fresh-baked bread. Subway, eat fresh.
Some great news here on Confidential for fans of The Rock. His movie, The Scorpion King, released October the 1st on DVD. It's available right now. You can buy it or you can rent it, and I can guarantee it's going to be one of the top sellers for sure. And speaking of The Rock, the man himself is here this week to give us a tour of the set of the movie, The Scorpion King.
Of course, it's a spin-off from The Mummy Returns and both of the Mummy films. This is not in any way the third installment of The Mummy. This is a Scorpion King. It's a character that we took in The Mummy Returns, and we chronicle his life on how he actually became the Scorpion King. And the only thing this guy knows, and his name is Matthias, is he knows how to kill. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel right to him. So he's fighting these feelings. It's only until he meets Kelly Hugh, who is a sorceress, who's also a seer, by the way, who helps him realize that your life has a much bigger meaning than just being an Akkadian assassin. So here we are on the set of The Scorpion King now. This particular area where we're at has a lot of historical significance. In 1955, this set was built for the movie Spartacus. And right here we have two horses. These are the Hammer horses. This is Sledge, and this is Jack right here. They're doing good. How you guys doing? Everybody good? Very good. Smell what the rock is cooking? Oh! Can't touch that. No. This is stage 28, one of many, many stages here on the lot. I'm going to take you over here. I'm going to let you see Cassandra's tent, who's my love interest in the movie, and we're also going to watch the Boom Jabroni. This is what Cassandra was when I first entered the throne. At this particular time, I've made a pact to kill her. But unfortunately, I don't know she is a she. I actually, along with everybody else, think that the sorcerer is a guy, is an old guy, some old jabroni with wrinkly skin and things like that. But when he turns around, I realize that it's a beautiful woman. The trusty lady here, Kelly who?
Kelly says you're...
I just sit on the side and cheer. That's my job, really.
Kelly says you're a good kisser. Any comment?
Well, you know. All right, guys, this is Philos' lab. He's an alchemist / scientist. The character Philos pretty much discovers dynamite. He discovers flight, hieroglyphics, the pyramids. So he's far beyond his time, which is a big reason why Memnon, the king at that time, the lead villain, keeps him around.
3, 2, 1, action!
I play Memnon, who is Matthias' adversary throughout the film. And we pretty much hate each other from the beginning of the film to the end of the film.
Okay, bang, the rock lands, Stephen rises.
He has a real presence about him, not just when he's working in front of the camera, but just as a person.
When I auditioned for the movie, I realized that I was going to be playing his love interest, and I was really excited about the movie role. And I did the screen test, and during the screen test, I actually had to kiss him in the screen test, and then I got really excited about getting the role.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I've got to kiss Kelly Hugh. But no, she's beautiful, so, and she's very professional right across the board, so I really enjoy it. There's a scene where we're supposed to make love, so who knows?
Pictures up, ready, here we go.
What this particular scene is tonight is it's one of the final scenes in the entire movie. It's the big culmination, the big finale, the final fight. There's contraptions back there behind the curtain that are called air mortars, and they're given about 20 or 30 pounds worth of pressure to come through the curtains, which helps when it come through, and actually blows the curtains open.
3, 2, 1, go!
But am I nervous to go through fire? No, I'm not nervous to go through fire. The Rock walks through fire every single night in the WWF.
The Rock Scorpion King, available now on DVD. A little footnote here, The Rock is currently at work on his latest movie. It's an action-adventure film tentatively titled El Dorado. Coming up next week, Chris Jericho loves to tell everybody about what a huge rock star he is. I think the point is arguable, to say the least. But there's no arguing the fact that Saliva, the platinum recording artists, are huge rock stars. Would you believe they're huge Jericho fans as well? They've recorded a new single all about Chris Jericho. It's going to be available on the new anthology CD, and we'll have Saliva and Chris Jericho right here. That's all for this week. Again, I remind you, as we always do, if you see and hear it here, it's confidential.